Every single time you log into a website or buy something online or just browse around without anything breaking, you're actually seeing the result of a hidden war. It's this high-stakes battle fought by developers over the tools that make our whole digital world work. So today, we are going to pull back the curtain on this fight over what are called web testing frameworks. Let's just start with a number that's kind of hard to believe. Up to 50%. Yeah, that's potentially half the entire cost of building a web application. And it's not spent on cool new features, it's spent on testing. It's this huge investment, and it's all just to make sure that when you click a button, the right thing actually happens. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get a handle on just how big this problem is. Then we'll dive into a new philosophy that totally changed the game. After that, we'll watch the battle between the two main contenders, follow a real story about a company that switched sides, and finally, we'll tie it all back to why this techie fight matters to every single one of us. Right, so to really get this war, you first have to understand the battlefield. And the modern web, well, it's not just a bunch of pages anymore. It's a massive, super complex, and always changing ecosystem. I mean, just think about the sheer scale of it all. You've got over 5 billion people poking around on hundreds of millions of websites, and most of them are built with these really dynamic, complicated languages like JavaScript. So how could any team of humans possibly keep up? Manually clicking through every single feature on every browser, it wasn't just slow, it became mathematically impossible. The only way forward was automation, and this is what led to the rise of these testing frameworks. Basically, tools that can take control of a web browser and act like a user, hunting for bugs 24/7. The early players, like a tool called Selenium, really paved the way for everything that was going to come next. But just having a robot do the clicking wasn't quite enough. The tests were often really fragile, they'd break with tiny little code changes. What was needed was a major shift in thinking, a whole new philosophy, and it was championed by a developer named Kent C. Dodds. And this idea, it was a game changer. He basically argued that developers should stop testing all the invisible internal code, the implementation details as they call them. Instead, he said, you should write tests that behave exactly like a real person using the software. So here's what that actually looks like. The old way, the code way, was to test like a robot. The test would look for a specific internal code ID. Now, if a developer renamed that ID for some reason, poof, the test fails, even if the button looks exactly the same to you. The new way, the user way, is to test like a human. Does a button that says submit exist on the page? See? This kind of test is way more resilient. It only fails if the experience for the user actually breaks. Okay, so this new user-focused philosophy, it totally set the stage for a new generation of tools. And that brings us right to the main event in the testing world today, the huge battle between two heavyweights, Cypress and the Microsoft-backed Playwright. So when you put them head-to-head, the differences are pretty big. They're built on totally different architectures, which is just a fancy way of saying how they talk to the browser. Playwright was built for power. It runs outside the browser, which makes it super easy to control multiple browsers. Chrome, Firefox, Safari. Cypress, on the other hand, runs inside the browser. Now, this can make it a little simpler to get started with, but it also creates some serious limitations, especially when it comes to testing on different browsers. But look, all these technical details are one thing. How does this stuff actually play out in the real world? To see that, let's check out the story of Big Binary, a software company that used Cypress for years before making a pretty dramatic switch. So for these guys, the breaking point wasn't actually a technical one. It was about money. Cypress put out this controversial update that blocked a bunch of cheaper third-party tools, basically strong-arming users towards their own, much more expensive cloud service. And that business decision made the team sit back and ask, hey, is there a better way to do this? And as they started looking into Playwright, they found that Cypress's famous simplicity was, well, kind of an illusion. For what seems like a really simple task, the Cypress code just becomes this confusing, tangled mess. But the Playwright code? It was clean, it was straightforward, and it was just a whole lot easier for developers to actually read and work with. And then came the speed. Oh my gosh, the performance difference was just absolutely staggering. For one of their products, the time it took to run their entire batch of tests just plummeted from almost 2.5 hours with Cypress down to just 16 minutes with Playwright. I mean, that's an 89% drop in just sitting around waiting. This incredible speed led to massive real-world savings.
They started spending 91% less time every single week just fixing broken, flaky tests. And because Playwright has a more open system, they were able to build their own reporting tool and cut their monthly costs by 77%. All that time and money saved, it let their developers get back to actually building new features.
And here's the really crucial part. Playwright didn't just make their old tests faster, it unlocked completely new ways to test things. Remember how it runs outside the browser? Well, that meant it could suddenly handle these really complex, real-world situations, like a live chat between two users in different tabs, or testing integrations with apps like Google Calendar. These were things that were literally impossible to test with Cypress's architecture.
So, after all that technical stuff, we finally get to the most important person in this entire story. You, the end user. Why should any of us care about this nerdy war between frameworks?
Well, because the payoff is actually really simple. Better testing leads directly to a better experience for you. It means more reliable apps because the bugs that would have driven you crazy get found before you ever see them. It means you get new features and fixes faster because the whole testing cycle takes minutes instead of hours. It means the websites you love will actually work on your browser, not just the one the developer uses. And maybe most importantly, that whole philosophy of testing like a user, it naturally pushes developers to build a more accessible web for everyone.
This silent war for the web, it's never really over. While it seems like Playwright is winning today's battle by letting developers test faster and better, this whole field is constantly changing. And with artificial intelligence now stepping into the ring, promising to write and manage tests all by itself, well, you can be sure that the next great battle for the future of your digital world is already just around the corner.